What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr, and today I am bringing you a test and combo video for the Darkworld Horus profile I showed you all the other day. Now I took this deck to my locals, it got first place, it did incredibly well, so I thought it'd be good to show you the profile and the list, explain it why it is built the way it is, then show you a test and combo video so you can see how the deck operates uninterrupted, and then show you some of the duels from that locals so you can see how the deck performed in real life matchups. So with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. I'm absolutely enjoying making all the Darkworld content as well. I'm having a lot of fun playing the deck and just being able to experiment with different versions of it as well. So with all of that out of the way, after a very decent shuffle, we'll do a test stand going first and a test stand going second so you can see how it all works. Decent shuffle, good old cut. Starting a hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, ignoring Genta for this little second, this is one of the perfect reasons I really wanted to consider playing the Horus engine for starters, is if I had something like this, because when I'm looking at a hand like this, I'm like, damn, I don't have a card in my graveyard for gates, I've got no way of getting a Darkworld to the grave, whereas Mseti will do that job for me just as well. Now, I don't actually have to do that in this example, but when you look at a hand like this, it's kind of not that bad to put Genta to the graveyard first. Because I'm only playing 2 gates and I've already opened up 1, there is no need for me to use Genta to get me another gate when I can just use Mseti to do the same thing. Now I have found, again, through actual duels, that when you do start off with something like Mseti, send in, it's one of the first times that your opponent will actually ash. Which, again, in this particular scenario isn't bad, because if they ash me, I've got Thrust to set, but I also have gates that can discard Rainbow, and I can do the full Genta combo as well. So I'm actually in a really good position. So we're going to start off by using Mseti's effect to send Genta and itself to the graveyard, and then obviously Mseti will allow you to search your King Sark, and then you shuffle up and you get to draw 1 card. So you've basically replaced your hand by giving you access to King Sark as well. So we're going to shuffle this up and then we'll draw a random card, being Rainbow. Okay, very nice. Now with this scenario, we're going to activate Gate of the Darkworld. We're going to use Gate's effect to banish Genta as cost, and then discard Rainbow as effect to draw a new card. Nice. We're then going to go chain link 1 Rainbow, chain link 2 Genta. Genta will come back to the board. Rainbow will then let us search a level 5 or higher. Now, I'm going to go for something like Silver. You could go for Grepher, but at the moment I don't have other pieces to utilise Grepher to its max potential, so we're going to be able to utilise it even further. Now don't worry, because we've got access to 2 Horus cards, we're actually going to be able to draw more cards and burn our opponent very consistently, which is scary to think of. So after the decent shuffle there, we're going to add Genta back to the hand, bring back Rainbow, and now we can activate Genta's effect to get us our second gate. Now obviously if I didn't open up the first gate, then I would be more tempted to use Genta the first time, but because I already opened it, it was more beneficial for me to not use Genta's effect to search the gate and do it this way round instead. So we're going to shuffle this up, we're going to activate the second gate now, and then we'll use the gate effect to banish Genta as cost, and then let's discard... Let's discard Rainbow. I mean, I probably could discard Silver, but we're going to discard Rainbow just to get us another search. So we draw a new card off of Gate. Very nice. And then we're going to resolve the Rainbow to let's add a level 5 to 8. I'm going to go for Grepher just so that I've got access to it. Now, I can very easily activate trading on Grepher if I want to, but there's no need considering I've opened up one of the Horus monsters. They're like the best targets, as long as you've got access to King Sark already, to activate a card like Trading on, just because you gain all advantage. Like, you put it in the graveyard, which is exactly where you want it. You get 2 new cards that you're going to be able to bring back with King Sark anyway. So we'll activate the Trade-In, we'll discard the Guidance and draw 2. Rainbow loves this hand at the moment. And another Genta. Now, obviously, I'm not playing a third field spell. I wouldn't anyway. I'm actually happy with the way this one works. But with this exact hand, I've still got so much more to do. Because now I can activate King Sark. I can use the ability of Guidance in the graveyard to summon itself back. And Mseti. And now I can overlay all 3 of these. And go into the Giant Trainer. Now, obviously, Giant Trainer, again, is another great target for your opponent to try and imperm you. If it happens, again, you still have your normal summon, you still have other plays to make. Because remember, we are still playing 1 more Horus monster that we can send from deck to grave, and at the very least, we can get an SP Little Knight or a IP Masquerena. Now, that's not something you already always want to do, but if you were to play the 4th King Sark monster, which is this one right here, protection, you could technically send that as well, and then you'd have 2 more, so you'd guarantee another access to a rank 8 play. Anyway, in this scenario here, we're going to use Coach Giant King's effect 3 times. Obviously, you do 1 at a time, but in this scenario, we're just going to show you how this works. So we get 1, that's a monster, so we burn our opponent for 800. We draw another one, it's another monster, burn our opponent for another 800. And then we go again, another monster, burn our opponent for 800. So we've burnt our opponent for a total of 24, and you can see we've massively replenished our hand, absolutely crazily as well. Now what we can do here is we're going to activate Salamander's effect. I'm going to use Salamander to discard the silver. Silver will then summon itself back. If I want silver back in my hand for hand resource, again, I can very easily do that. Add silver back to the hand for rainbow. If I want to get another level 8 on the board, I can now use King Sark's effect to send a card from my hand to the graveyard. But because I want to maximize the ability of Bigfoot resolving, you probably want to reveal Bigfoot now. I'm probably going to set Frost just so I don't lose it, and it also means that my hand is a tidy 6, so it fits within a D6. So shuffle these up. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll roll a 6-sided dice. 3, which is this one here. It's not Bigfoot. Wow, silver, pretty broken actually. We're going to summon out the Bigfoot. We're going to draw a card. Silver's effect is going to trigger. We drew the Imsi, and it's going to summon itself down. Now, this is another difference with this particular build is what you're doing is you're constantly digging through cards. Sometimes you want to actually save your Horus monsters in case you do get nibbed or anything else like that. But when you've got a hand like this, through testing, it actually makes me want to play a second Yugioh. But I'm just going to go with returning. Have I got a rainbow in the grave? I'm not too sure if I do. Oh, I do. Cool. So we'll return silver to the hand for rainbow. And then we'll use Rainbow, Salamander, Giant Trainer, and Bigfoot, 4 monsters with different names. And we go into Yugioh. Yugioh is then going to let us draw 4 new cards. So Jackalope, Archives, Frost, and Talents. And we're going to put 3 back. Now, arguably, I already have a Talent, so that can go back. I will take this. I will put... Genta's still good as a normal summon because I haven't used that yet. So we'll put back a Greffer. And we'll also keep the Archives. We'll keep the Jackalope. And we'll put back... Insetti. I don't really need that right now. Cool. So they've now all gone back. We're going to activate the Archives. I'm going to set the Talents because I don't want to lose it. And then we'll reveal the Jackalope. Now, obviously, the only downside is if I do hit the Genta, that's a bit of a loss, but I can still special off the back of the Yugioh as well. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Silver. Okay, pretty good. Jackalope. Draw 1. Silver. Summon back. Nice. Return silver to the hand for rainbow. So now you can see how we're just a little bit more rank 8 focused. So I can make a rank 8 here if I want to. But honestly, I don't need to. I can now use Saruja's effect if I want to special summon a monster from the hand, except Genta, because you can only be special summoned once per turn that way. Or if I want to draw more cards, I can activate Genta's effect. Not Genta's effect, sorry. Archive's effect, discard this. And then activate Archive's effect here to make me discard a card, which will be silver, to draw 2 new cards. Imsetti and Mothman. Silver's effect will now come back. I've now got the ability of Mothman should I want to, but I want to clear up some space first so that I don't run into the same old trick of losing an effect. Now, let me just double check. I probably could. Oh no, you can only use the effect twice per turn, and it actually names Coach King. I was like, could I make a second Coach King and go even further? That would be wild. You've got the ability to go into Appaloosa if you want to. I'm personally not playing that. So the next one that you'd want to go to after this is a zombie vampire. Use this ability. You're going to mill 4 from the top of your deck and 4 from the top of your opponent's deck. And then you get to summon one that gets milled. So we'll summon Snow. And this is going to give me the ability to use Rainbow that I just detached off a zombie vampire to put Snow back into the hand. So again, we're in a very, very good position here. Then, of course, if you want to, you can very easily link these 2 off. Using a XYZ and another monster gives you SP Little Knight with the ability to banish. Not that you need to rely on that at all in this particular turn because you're going first. So we've got 6 cards here. We've now got 2 free spots as well. So we're going to reveal Mothman. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, which is this one here. It's Rainbow. Nice. Get out the way. Mothman. Rainbow. So draw off a Mothman. Nice. Rainbow's effect will then let us add level 5 or higher, so we'll add the Greffer that we put back earlier. And you can just tell how much gas this deck has. Like, it keeps going. I've still got the ability of King Sark to send one more monster if I want to. I still have the ability of Yugioh to special summon a monster from my hand. And I've got the ability of a session to now activate this. So if I want to clear some cards off, we can discard Snow and Grepher. This will then give me the Grepher Fusion. This will then mandatory Grepher and then Snow. Snow will search, and we will search Ceruli. Like, it's absolutely wild that I haven't even done Ceruli hand loop yet, which is mad. You can see how much of the deck I've got left as well. From a full deck of 40, there's like nearly nothing left. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to return the silver to our hand for Rainbow. Rainbow to our hand for Grepher. You've now got the ability to make other ranks if you want to, more links if you want to. It really is up to you. So let's go for... Let's use Grepher and Mothman. And we're going to make IP Masquerena. We can then return Rainbow to the hand for Grepher. Let's see what else we've got. Okay, now we've got Ceruli. So we can use the Accession effect in the graveyard. Add it back to the hand. Discard Ceruli. Ceruli's effect goes to our opponent's side of the field. I'm not planning to bounce this back, so I don't need to worry about it too much. Makes me discard Silver. Silver goes to the grave, goes there. Rip 2 from our opponent's hand. Now we'll activate Talents. We'll look at our opponent's hand. We'll rip 1 down, so our opponent now only has 2 cards in their hand, but we've seen exactly what they have as well. If I want to, I can activate Thrust and add Corridor or Card Destruction. I'm not going to do so unless I like... I mean, their hand can be garbage, but at least I know what their hand is, so I don't want to overdo it in that way. Then what I can do here is I can return the silver to the hand. I'm pretty sure I left the rainbow in the graveyard. Yep. Leave that. We'll overlay these two. We'll go into a Hope Harbinger. Now I can redeclare all of the attacks that I possibly want to. And then I can also set an Accession. Plus, I also have the ability, if I really want to get another monster on the board, is I can use King Sark. If I've got loads of cards in my hand and I need to discard cards, I can use King Sark's effect. We'll send a rainbow to the graveyard. We'll Foolish Bury the last Horus that we play, which is Blessing, and then special summon Blessing back to the board. So now what we've got is we pass our opponent's turn. I've got IP Masquerena that can link me up higher because I've got IP, Yugioh, and Blessing can get me a 3 negate Appaloosa. It also gives me the ability to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one of my opponent's monsters to go into Underworld Goddess. I've got SP Little Knight that can tag out. I've got the negate off the Grepher. I've also got the spell negate off of Hope Harbinger and the Redeclare as well. And if my opponent plays 1 card, and they leave 2 cards in their hand, I can activate the Grepher to discard the silver. I would just need to make some space first, which is where IP comes into play, to then make sure that those last 2 cards in the hand go back to the bottom of the deck. And then if our opponent, by some form of a miracle, clears off all of our monsters, as long as we are left with King Sark, we just get to bring back all of the Horus monsters again. And the Horus monsters, so let's just take this as an example, right? Let's say I don't know why they would clear everything off apart from the Gold Sark, but... We've cleared all of that off. We draw 1 card for turn. Our hand is still fully stacked, which is absolutely insane. And then we still have the ability to go, okay, cool. We will bring back wherever it may be, like right at the bottom of the graveyard. Bring back Inseti, bring back Guidance, and bring back Blessing. Blessing is now 36 because you control 3 Horus monsters. You've got 24 off the back of the Guidance, and you've got a 3k off of the back of the Inseti. I am highly tempted to play a second King Sark just in case I get rid of the first one, but it can get a little bit bricky otherwise. So, as you can see, you've got a bit of a crackback, and your opponent would have had to break your entire board. So they're in their remaining 3 cards of their hand, at the very least. And keeping in mind that you would have seen the 2 cards already. So unless they top deck a card like Darkworld and No More, and then you left them with a 1-card combo star in the hand, off of the back of the talents, you know, you're in a very, very good position. Now, if you flip that, and the amount of gas this deck had, going second is just as powerful. The only difference is you can't use Coach King without... you'd have to use this and not have a battle phase, but that's where the Zombie Vampire comes in. And again, if you're up against something like Tier Elements or the Mirror Match, less so the Mirror Match, more so the Tier Element matchup, you don't use Zombie Vampire. It's as easy as that. One other card that I'm highly considering is Zeus, but you never really want to make Zeus because you never really want to lose your King Sark. That is the one crux of this build, is that your cards like King Sark and your Imseti, they're all very, very easily targetable, whereas the natural Darkworld deck doesn't really worry too much about an Ash Blossom or too much about an Imperm because most of your cards are triggering in graveyard. I mean, in one of the duels I actually faced today, you'll see that, or the other day, you'll actually see that I faced an Inspector border and I had to use the gold. Like, the difference of having the Horus monsters was the difference in that one, because they don't activate in graveyard, they just summon back to the board. I also had to deal with Anubis as well, End of Anubis. Again, where I couldn't activate cards in the graveyard. But Imseti and all of that don't activate, they just summon back, which is great, like Graphar and Rainbow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I don't expect there to be any hand traps in this. And then 6. Okay, Frost. So considering we're going second, Frost is actually crazy good. So we're going to set the Frost, I don't want to lose it. We'll reveal Mothman. I'm just going to leave this as it is. So we'll go 1 to 5, 6 will be a reroll. 2, so we hit the damp, that's not the end of the world. Mothman summons, draw a card. King Sark, broken. Absolutely broken. We're going to activate the King Sark, Doi. We're going to activate Nessie, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4. Wow, okay. Summon down Nessie, draw a card. I wish they would have been hit last turn, like what the heck. So now we've got King Sark, and this is where it gets quite cool, is I can now, if I really want to, because my hand's a little bit, okay, this isn't ideal, what I can do is I can now use King Sark's effect. We will send, let's send Rainbow to the graveyard, and this will then allow me to send the Imseti that I haven't been able to get to the graveyard. There we go. And now I have the ability to bring all 3 of them back. So if I want to be really aggressive, I can do, because straight away, bar those 2 being in defense, this is 36, 6k, so 6, I think it's exactly 8k, 9,000's on board, just with those 3 there. So if these 2 can clear something off the board, I'm in a good position. I still have Frost to trigger, and I still have the ability, even if I didn't want to send the Rainbow, and I actually wanted to send something else, I can very easily just overlay into a zombie vampire and push further forward that way as well. So I don't need to bring all 3 of these back in one go. I can leave 1 in the graveyard and just go, okay, cool, overlay these 2, zombie vampire, effect to zombie vampire, mill 4, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could Ceruli and make my opponent discard a card. Obviously, I could get a look at my opponent's graveyard and bring 1 card that is going to be more beneficial to me back from that place as well. But in this one, let's go with Bigfoot just so we have an aggressor. You've then got the ability, if you wanted to start linking these off, like I said, with this particular version, what you're trying to do is you do want to ideally, like, you do have to go through Saruja a little bit more than you normally would. But even then, that's not an issue, because I can now go into Zelantis lock as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Put 3 of these back. And the best thing about this is when you start getting discard effects going, you actually have the ability to very easily start getting... start regaining your hand resource with stuff like rainbows and everything else. Let's get rid of... Archives can give me a draw, but then I need to be able to discard a card in order to draw, and if I can't discard a card, I don't get anything. So we will put 1... 2... 3... This might not be the right idea, but we'll have a look. We use Catalyzer's effect, discard Silver, summon Catalyzer down. Silver's effect will summon. We can then return Silver to the hand for Rainbow, which is absolutely fine already. I still have 1 more card to bring back off of the Sark, so I'll bring back whatever one I didn't, which I believe is Imseti was the one I didn't. So I've got rank 8 here if I want to. If I really want to try and push and get into another rank 8, then of course I can send off of Sark, but it's not really anything I want to send. If I've done all of this and my opponent hasn't activated a monster effect, I'm amazed. We still have the ability, like at the worst case scenario, I can still Zelantis lock my opponent if I play Zelantis. I've still got the ability of SP Little Knight by using Catalyzer and Skuldred if I want to. There is a couple of different options depending on how you want this one to go out. So I don't think there's really much more. I mean, I can get a little bit more aggressive, but I don't think it's going to get any more aggressive than what I already have on the board anyway. Just having a look to see what other fiends are in the graveyard. There aren't really any, to be fair. So, I mean, how far do we want to go? If we're going to go max potential on this, what you would do is I would use Catalyzer and Rainbow and go into Muck. I'd use Mux effect, discarding silver, targeting the rainbow. Summon back the rainbow. Silver's effect summons itself back. Obviously, Skull Dread's effect, I believe it's mandatory. Yeah, it is. So the first time a monster is summoned to its own, it would have buffed what it pointed to anyway. And then when you're looking at the end board like this, again, if your opponent hasn't activated everything, considering you're going second, then I'm still amazed. Regardless, if they haven't, you've got a 28 there, you've got 1,000 there, 23 there, 3k there, 3k there. So that's helping you push the game. If you don't muck lock yourself, you still have other rank 8 options. There was a chance if I wanted to go into Coach King Giant Trainer, but the only time that Coach King Giant Trainer is worth doing, in my opinion, is if I've already played Dark Ruler No More. So if you've sided in Dark Ruler No More and you want to, then you can very easily play your Coach Giant Trainer as well. But you can kind of see, again, on the crackback, or if anything gets destroyed, as long as King Sark stays around, I've got 3 Horus monsters that are going to come back the next turn. So it's just really kind of cool. I'm not saying that this is the best version of it, but I do like the aggression that it has. And personally, if I was to rebuild my OTK version of the deck using Lava Golems in the main, then I would definitely be playing more Lava Golems in the main. I would definitely be playing... I'd be playing more. I'd definitely play the 4th Horus card, the Protection. Just because then I would then also consider, like I said in the profile, the Astral Karibo as well. Just to kind of give you more 8s on the board, and you can just go even more ham, even more aggression. So, yeah. Really do enjoy the way this works. It worked incredibly well at locals. It'll be interesting to see how it does going further forward. I just like the idea that, again, the difference between this and the mirror match is the Horus. Like, a lot of people just didn't expect the Horus, and it was like, okay, whoa, you're playing Horus? What the heck? And then Dark Worlds would come out of nowhere, and they're like, what? Dark World Horus? Huh? And I think that the issue is a lot of people would look at the Horus and not know that they send cards, they don't actually discard. But like I said in the first example, what the send really can help you with is if you open up Gate with no way of getting a Dark World to the graveyard, the Horus monsters can help you do that. The Horus monsters obviously give you that draw and the search. The issue is it's very susceptible. So if it does get stopped, then you're 2 cards down and you're trying to rebuild your hand, which can be done with Rainbow. Like, there's a couple of times in a duel where it's like, okay, cool, you've got no hand left. And I'm like, yeah, cool, but I've got Dark World on the board. So return that Dark World to the hand for Rainbow, return the Rainbow to the hand for Grepher, and then I've got 3 Horus monsters come back. All of those go into Saruja, draw 4 new cards, put the cards I just looped back to my hand that are no use to me, back to the bottom of the deck, special summon 1, and I've ended up plussing a card. So really, really kind of cool strategy. Really, really like the way that it works. And I hope this video is kind of giving you a bit of an insight of how the Horus cards can help the deck in order to be that a bit more aggressive, or be that a bit more defensive, or heck, be a bit more consistent to burn your opponent for 24 and draw you 3 new cards. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Any questions, as absolutely always, comments below. I will be more than happy to answer them. For now, as always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.